Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am Jen Sugarmeyer, your host of Mindset in the Morning. And this is not a backdrop. I am out in, well, I would say sunny California, but it is 4 in the morning here. So I am out in Sacramento. I have been attending this festival, which, I debated if I should still go after I had a little buyer's remorse after I bought my ticket. A 4-day festival, and I thought, can I even hang for 4 days? So I'm just out here for a couple of days. I had such a great time last night. There was music from, the 90s, and which is my favorite era for music and all that. So anyway, it is 4 in the morning. I am in Sacramento, and I'm still here on Mindset in the Morning. And I love coming up with a topic sometimes, like what to name the show. And so I just said, if you want more time, do this. Because who doesn't want more time? We all need more time. In fact, I have a podcast, Level Up to 2.0, and I bounce back and forth between if I say this or not, but I say, thank you for your time, because time is something we can't get back. And it's so true. We spend so much just time, and some days we look at like, what did I do? Then you think, man, I'm never getting that day again. And then I think, how is it Christmas again? How is it my birthday again? So time just goes into this this tornado, and I don't know where it goes, but we all want more time in our life. So today we're going to talk about one way of how you can get more time. Yes, this is still Mindset in the Morning. And actually, Mindset in the Morning, we're here live 5 days a week at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time or 4 a.m. Pacific, talking all things mindset so that you can show up the most powerful version of you. When we know how to tap into the mind, that is your power source. And we're so familiar with the Holy Trinity of health, mind, body, soul, and we work out the body, we work out the soul, but what are we doing for the mind? And it's a necessary part of the pillar. When you understand how to navigate life, then it's like life's always like throwing things at you, and you're able to just bob and weave and bob and weave. And when we take care of our mind, that helps us stay in good mental health. That means it keeps us from slipping into fear, frustration, anger, resentment, anxiety, embarrassment, boredom, stress. These are all areas that we want to avoid. And so when we understand mind, it helps us get away from them. All right, let's dig into this topic. Oh, if you haven't yet hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, why don't you go ahead and do that now? Because that helps grow this channel. It helps blow up it helps increase visibility so that we can reach other people, because maybe there's someone out there that says, man, I really need more time and I don't know what to do. So if you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. All right, let's get going. So know yourself and win all battles. That is one of my favorite quotes. It's by Sun Tzu. I never know if I say his name right, TZU, Tzu. But I say it all the time because it is true. When you know yourself, you win all battles and you save time. So today we're talking about getting to know yourself and why it is so important, because you ultimately are going to be saving time in your life. And we know that time is very precious, can't get it back. And the older we get, it seems to just be speeding up. How is it happening? Like, it was October 2021 and I thought, what the heck? Because 2020 was a big blur. We just kind of blinked and I don't know what happened to that year. That was a funky one. And then we had 2021 and I thought, okay, this is going to be a year of just, it'll feel longer because I'm out doing things again. No way. This year has flown by. Every month when it's the first of the month, I'm like, what? How is this happening? So because life is so fast, because it's not slowing down, make the best of your time. So think about when you eat food. So food for me, I am a creature of habit, and I'm not advocating that you eat the same thing every single time, but how much time do we, and this is just an example, but how much time do we spend? What do I want to eat? What do I want to eat? What do I want to eat? For me, it is so easy because I get the same thing almost every single time. And yeah, it's good to change it up. It's good to have that variety, but I know what I like. So it makes shopping easier. I just go literally on my app and it shows me the things that I buy the most. And I just go, yup, okay, order it to my house. Boom, done. Which, by the way, ordering groceries to your house is going to save you time. It was a whole mind shift when I sold my vehicle 2 years ago. I'm like, how am I going to get groceries? Can somebody drive me to the store? And now I'm like, I don't need to go in a store. I don't. Sometimes it's nice too. I like to feel the produce before I buy it, but I don't really, it's not a big deal. So yeah, if you want even more time, order it from an app like Amazon Fresh or Instacart or whatever you have in your area. But when you know what you like, then you're not going around a store or going to your kitchen cabinet saying, what do I want to eat? What do I like? What is it? You're not always going to know because sometimes your taste buds are telling you something that you're like, I want something, but I don't know what that is. And that's going to happen from time to time. But imagine how much time you're going to save just from that one little, just getting to know what you like. Have you ever thought about it? In fact, it might even be a good idea for you to order a few times from an app like Instacart or Amazon Fresh, because it will show you what you're ordering the most of. And that should be able to tell you if you're like, I don't know what I get, just go on one of those apps. It will tell you what you see the most frequent, what you order the most frequent. So getting to know yourself, you are going to save time in the areas of food. And food is important. I mean, for me, it's not so much of an experience anymore. I kind of just do it to nourish myself, but I still like good food. I don't want to eat rabbit food and garbage. It's still something that I, enjoy in my life, even though I don't sit down and have these elaborate dinners like I used to. But, I don't spend really any time thinking about it anymore because I know what I like. I know how to prepare it. I know how to save time with that. And that's just what I do. So think about how you eat, what you eat, and maybe even how you purchase it. You're going to be able to save time. So I was on this call yesterday and there was a gentleman and I was on Clubhouse. I haven't been on Clubhouse in a long time. And he had some questions around just giving money out to just giving handouts. He's big into philanthropy, but there are some people that come up to him and he's like, I don't know, do you qualify? I don't really feel good about just throwing money out. I'm not a bank. How do I delineate and all of that? And everything that he was talking about one situation specifically where someone came up to him and just wanted money. And the person hadn't been doing the work, hadn't been doing the grind, wasn't showing himself, proving himself in any capacity and anywhere. The guy literally, it almost sounded like someone just walked up to him whom he knew and said, hey man, look, I know that you're doing really well. Like, I need to pay my rent. Like, are you down with giving me some money? And this guy clearly was having some issues with that. And as I'm listening to him, I'm thinking, your morals, your beliefs. Now it's time to put those into boundaries. So he had never drawn a line in the sand. And when we have boundaries, we're saying, okay, this is where I stand on this issue. Sometimes we think of boundaries as these big walls. You can't touch me, blah. But when you think of this guy's situation, he's saying, look, I believe you need because he admitted, he said, I've worked very hard for my money. I've been very fortunate, but I also worked very hard, and I believe in a good work ethic, and I believe in, whatever. And he rattled off a list of beliefs. And I'm thinking, he knows what he wants. He knows what feels right to him. And just because something feels right to one person doesn't mean it's going to feel right to everyone. It only has to feel right to you because you are running your ship. So when he started to understand that, hey, I'm feeling this way around all of these things. I spoke up. I said to him, I said, look, you already know what the answer is. You now need to define how you handle handing money out. And that is just a boundary. I am willing to give money. However, it has to fit this criteria. And if it doesn't, if people are just saying, hey man, give me money, I'm not doing anything, but I need your money, then that doesn't fall into the criteria. So sometimes the boundaries words just sounds like these big walls. They're not. They're keeping you from slipping into a state of suffering. They also teach you how to handle situations. In my book, Defining Your Boundaries, I talk about them as bumpers on the bowling lane. So bumpers will keep you from going in the gutter. So when you're throwing the ball, which I found out, by the way, after writing this book, that I think bumpers maybe are only in the United States. So if you're not in the United States and watching this, just Google what bumpers are. But they will keep you from going into the gutter. And what happens when you go in the gutter and you're in a bowling game? Yeah, you're not going to strike the pins out. So those pins are your goals. You want to hit them. And you do that by keeping boundaries. So they're not high walls. They're going to save you time. I think of how much time this guy just spent talking to a group of us of, hey, I don't feel good about this. I don't feel good about this. So when you know yourself, this is the epitome of, and actually the reason I wanted to talk about this today. When you know yourself, you win all battles. Because when situations come up, you're going to know how to respond. You know your beliefs. You know your morals. You know your values, and then you know how to respond. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. I'm trying to think of something that has certain criteria, like you must hit these qualifications in order to whatever. Maybe if you're applying for unemployment or I don't know why these came to mind, but wherever you must fit this criteria in order to proceed ahead. And maybe that's, certain types of benefits, healthcare benefits or whatever. And you fill out the criteria. We wouldn't say, well, how dare you? There has to be some level of criteria in place in order for the company to establish if you're eligible for, let's say, benefits. I've talked to some health insurance agencies and they say, oh, okay, well, we don't take anybody that has had any kind of big health problem. There are parameters for what level of health you have to be in order for them to insure you. And maybe because they're cheaper packages because you're not a risk to their business. So that is the company putting boundaries in place. They're not assessing every single person like, I don't know, should we accept you? You don't look sick, so sure, we'll take you. No, there are defined, we take this, we don't take this. There's not a whole lot of gray. I'm not going to say that there's no gray, but it's pretty black and white, maybe a little gray. They know exactly what they want. Imagine if you knew that in your own life where, hey, this is how I respond in these situations. This is what I believe. Boom. You don't have to get on a call, ask people on Clubhouse. You don't have to ask, your best friend, your spouse, or whatever. You just know and you do it. It will save you tons of time. And if you've not gone out, if you've not read Defining Your Boundaries, go get a copy of it. Boundaries to me was I never quite understood boundaries, to be honest. I just never thought about them. It's not that I didn't understand them. I never really thought about them for a good, I don't know, 3.5 decades. Not that I didn't have boundaries in place, just organically. I knew in certain situations how I would respond, but I didn't understand how boundaries are everything. It's the time you wake up, or it's the time that you eat. Do you show up for work? Or for meetings on time? Will you show up late? Do you show up early? Boundaries are everywhere. So I'd encourage you just to go, and it's even on Audible. You can go pick it up on Audible and listen to it. It's like 5.5 hours long. So you can go read it, you can go listen to it, but just to get an idea of what are boundaries and how do you start to set them up. But I guarantee when you put boundaries in your life, you are going to save time. Okay, here's another one. How you save time when you know yourself. You know what you're good at and you know what you're not. And if you're not good at something, you can just delegate it out or you can outsource it. You don't have to know how to do everything. There are certain things that I don't like to do. I just don't. And yes, look, there are always going to be things that we don't want to do. And maybe it's just part of the job. Maybe it's part of your, adulthood that you just have to do. Like, how many people are like, I love paying my bills and balancing my checkbook. Do we even have checkbooks anymore? I don't know why that came to mind, but there are certain things that, yes, you need to carve out time to do that. Like, I don't know. Clean toilets is a big one. Even if it's not you, you got to hire somebody to do it. But it needs to get done. So whether it's you or somebody else, but if you got to know what you're good at, when you know what you're good at, you're going to be able to save so much time. So much time. I look at my dad and he's able to do everything. Like, there's barely anything that the man can't do. But there's some things that he won't do, like the plumbing. He knows that it's usually best. He might be able to do a little bit of plumbing, the plumbing that's under the sink, and you can just do that. But if it's something bigger, he's going to hire somebody to come in. There might be some level of electrical that he might need, or if there was, a foundation issue, then he would hire somebody in. So there are certain things that he knows, hey, look, I might be able to hire, or, I might be able to learn or do some of this myself, but I'm not a master electrician, or I'm not a master plumber, or I'm not, the concrete guy. Do I want to spend all my time trying to jackhammer the concrete and the foundation, or should I just hire someone out to do it? And when you know what you're good at, you say, yep, I can do that. I'm going to spend my time here. I'm not really sure what to do. And I'm going to outsource it, or I'm going to ask somebody for help, or whatever that may be, instead of spending your time there. Doesn't mean don't challenge yourself and learn new things. You'll know what is what between something that you should learn how to do versus, look, I'm just legit not good at it. Like, sales, not my favorite thing, not my favorite part of the business development, marketing, things like that. And I know when my business grows big enough, I'm going to have teams of people that can do that. For now, as a solopreneur, I have to do it all, but I get to do it all. Not have to, I get to do it all, right? Because that makes a big difference. I get to do all of these things myself, but is it where I'm the strongest at? Not necessarily. Lead generation is a lot of work, and I will outsource that at some point. So know yourself, and you are going to save time because you will be able to outsource more or ask for help, and not, oh, is this something I should do or shouldn't do? You're just going to know, hey, you know what? I really hate trimming bushes. I hate, or I have a dislike for whatever that is. And you're going to ask for help. So trust me, you are going to save time when you know what you like and what you don't like. And when you know what your purpose is, you are able to pick things in your life where you spend your time that aligns with that, or, some things that make you happy. But when you know why you're here on this earth, It doesn't become sacrifices not to do these other things. This is why I'm here. This is what I need to focus on. This is a huge one, and we're going to graze over this. Maybe I'll take an entire day to talk over this because we are at the top of our time. But when you know your purpose, you're able to focus on the things that align with why you're here on this earth. And yeah, it is also to have fun and, eat. We have to have balance. But I know, we'll just use me as an example. There's a lot of times my friends are out doing something and I'm working out or I'm working on my business. And those are two areas that I found that throughout my life, whatever I was doing, I spend time because they're priorities for me. They're priorities and my purpose. And so I spend time there versus going out to the bar or going to the pool sometimes or whatever maybe my friends are doing. And I know that this is where I want to be. I want to have my body look a certain way. I know that my purpose is this. I can see what I want my life to look like, what my life should look like. And I get so focused on that all of these other things, I don't waste my time on those things because you're still going to want to work out. You're still going to want to work on your business. So if you're spending all this other time doing all of these other things, then that's going to keep you from what you need to do. And you're going to have maybe less hours in the day. All of a sudden you're going to say, oh, all right, well, I'll just chip away at my sleep. I won't get as much sleep because I've been doing all these other things. So when you know what you want your life to look like, when you know what your purpose is, then you're going to be able to say no to other things and yes to you more. So with that, it is Friday. So it is self-care Saturday, self-care Sunday is coming up. So I would encourage you to if you can take a day, if you can take an hour, if you can take 5 minutes and really just focus on you, because at the end of the day, you need to be taking care of you. The only one that can take care of you the best is you. You need to be feeding your soul. You need to be resting. You need to be taking care, reconnecting with yourself. So whatever that means to you, whether it's a book or going out and doing a walk or treating yourself to a massage or a spa, whatever, you don't have to spend money on it, but do some level of self-care and get to know yourself. Understand your values, your beliefs, your morals. And when you know these things, your purpose, what you like to eat, pretend like you are dating someone else and you are getting to know that person. Ask yourself the exact same questions. So go out, find some more time in the day, start to notice where are you kind of throwing away some time? What are you spending a lot of time on? And how can you, by getting to know yourself, shorten that up a little bit so that we can get you more time in your life so that you can go do more self-care, because self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary. When you have a full cup, you will be able to help people at a much fuller and bigger capacity. You will not be coming from an empty cup. So work on that full cup, understand who you are, and go do some self-care this weekend. All right, I will see you back here, same time, well, not this place, but same time, same place on YouTube at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday morning. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and I will see you back here. Have a great week.